Welcome back to Barry Charles Footy Show. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Gold Coast Titans. Or somewhere, Gold Coast Titans, right there. Yes, are they a chance in 2025? Big Tino is back. David Fafita is signed on, but can they get themselves back into the top 8, which a lot of people thought was going to happen last year? It's going to be interesting. They've got still a youthful side and too many halves and fullbacks to pick from. It's probably making their salary, their top 30 a little bit out of whack. Do they need to let go of one of these players to get themselves into a better situation to have better overall squad things there? Will David Fafita go back to his best? Reagan Campbell, where does he play? Where's AJ Brimson play? A lot of things. Going back to David Fafita, he let down the Titans, then he let down the Roosters. He's got to make his mind up. He really wants to be a Titan, and we will see. But yeah, the Roosters had to nearly let go of Angus Crichton because of it, and they ended up losing Terrell May in the end. So that process didn't work out for them. Can both Furmore play the whole season and keep himself in chance of making Origin again? He's a good player, definitely a chance. But yes, what can we see? And obviously the coach, Des Hasler, he's to be under pressure in 2025. He was expected to make an immediate change, and the side just slipped down the drain into 14th. He's going to have to do a lot better this year. And remember, folks, it's been a long time between winning drinks. 2011 grand final, the last time he was in the grand final. Winning grand final. And he had 2 at the Bulldogs, 2012 and 2014. Hasn't been to the dance since. So again, he's under pressure to deliver like Wayne Bennett. Can he turn this team around into a premiership force in 2025? We will find out. Okay, we're going to look at the best 17, in my opinion, for the Gold Coast Titans. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. You can leave comments below if you disagree, agree, whatever you like. This is Rugby League, and I always put in some curlers in there for you folks out there. Now let's already start it off straight away for some people. Kini, outstanding for the Kiwis. He is my fullback. Obviously, AJ Brimson and Reagan Campbell are the other 2, and you could easily have any 3 of those 3 in there. But I'm going for Kini. Wingers, well, Khan Pereira picks himself, and then the other side, I've gone for Philip Sammy, but there's Jojo Fafita and Ken Mamolo right there as chances as well. We're looking at the centre pairing, well, Brian Kelly and AJ Brimson for me is where we're going. But yes, if AJ Brimson wasn't playing, he could put Philip Sammy and then Jojo Fafita onto the wing easily enough. But yes, so for me, it's Kini, Philip Sammy and Khan Pereira the wingers. Centre, Brian Kelly and AJ Brimson. My halves, I've gone Kieran Foran at 6. People are going, what? Yes, I'm going for Foran and 6 and saying Carter Gordon is going to be the goods. And you just put them in straight away and let them develop. But if you don't want to go that way, you can go for Kieran Foran at 7 and then put a Reagan Campbell or an AJ Brimson at 6, which is pretty simple, and that may be the way they go. But I'm going out of the box and saying Carter Gordon is the best thing since sliced bread. With Kieran Foran around to help him, could be a magic made in heaven. Tino and Mo Futueka will be starting props for me. You could have Reagan Campbell Gillard starting as well, but not for me. Sam Verrills, number 9. Interesting selections here. Gone both him and David Fafita, but David Fafita could be a prop these days if you want to. But my 13, I'm going for Reagan Campbell. Yes, I think they need a bit of razzle-dazzle, someone who can pass it out the back line. Sweep plays. He could be a different top to Isaiah and be an absolutely outstanding fit there. Just whether or not he can do the defensive side of the game is my question mark on that. But hey, got to give it a go. Chris Randall, he'll be backup hooker, backup chance there. Reagan Campbell Gillard. Cleese Huss, can he go to another level in 2025? And Jamin Jolloff. So you're really starting to struggle when you start hearing those sort of players that are in your 17. They're more backup players, but that is the question mark. Obviously, Isaac Tino's brother, Ken Mamolo, Jojo Fafita. There's not a lot of depth in the squad for mine. There's depth in some positions, but weak in others. And again, Prop's not a problem, I don't think. Prop, they pretty much got that sorted. could argue the back line. You could argue they're missing a 13. I'll say Chris Randall will play 13 or AJ Brimson could play 13 as well. But yes, it's probably a 13 and a decent winger. That's the big thing. A winger and a 13, and then I'd say this team is... every team has that in their squad. For me, a 13 and a winger, they could be a premiership team. Potentially a hooker, a halfback as well. That's the 3 positions they need. If they had those top 3 guns in those positions, they're definitely a premiership threat. But they're definitely a squad that are, again, in their top 8 echelon. Can be in the top 8. I'm going to have to look at all the squads and really delve into where I think the strengths are. I'll also look at injuries. If injuries occur, have they got the backups to back it up? And that's a big concern, especially in the likes of Tanner Boyd going. Be interesting to see how the Gold Coast Titans go around that. So let's have a look at the pros and cons of this team. Fullback Keanu Kini, good. Kyle Pereira's good. So the wing and centre's a bit of a question mark as well defensively. A bit of a concern there, but JJ Fafita could potentially be the one that fixes that. Halves, who halves with Kieran Gore? Kieran Foran, could be Carter Gordon, could be Reagan Campbell, could be AJ Brimson. It's going to be one of those 3. They've got to get their mix right and stick to it. Don't do what the Knights do and keep swapping it around. But that's what the Titans have done before. So don't hold your breath on that one. Forward pack is very good. Maybe just the 13 who plays 13 is probably the query out there. If it's Chris Randall or Reagan Campbell or AJ Brimson, that's the question mark you'd have there. And then the bench, the bench is just a little bit more for me. I just don't know if they have the flexibility player, but maybe they put a JJ Fafita on the bench or something. Just someone with a little different body shape, maybe. That's my concern, because it looks like a whole lot of big players in the bench. They haven't got that out-and-out 14. For me, Chris Randall will be closest to it, but he ain't no gun 14, if you know what I mean. He's a solid 14, but not a gun 14. And that would be my concern for the Gold Coast. So the Gold Coast, where do I rank them? Well, I don't know. I could rate them as high as 4, and I could rank them as low as 12. Let's put it that way. They're one of those teams. If I look at the forward pack itself, starting forward pack in the one bench, Reagan Campbell Gillard, you would say it's one of the top notch. But obviously a lot of pressure on Sam Free also stay on the field. But the back line's a bit not so great. It'd be in the weaker side of the comp. That's my question mark there. They've got some good players like Kieran Foran and AJ Brimson, Kyle Pereira if he keeps going to that level. And the rest are all solid players, but Brian Kelly, he needs to go to the next level. Kenny needs to keep going. For me, you say it's going to be an interesting season for the Gold Coast. They are definitely a chance in this premiership, but maybe just miss their top-class player. They do have Kieran Foran, but they just might be missing a couple of top-class players to be a premiership threat. Anyway, that's Barry Charles' Footy Show for this episode, and we'll be back with plenty more shortly, and next will be the New Zealand Warriors.